12 or no vaccine mandates at a local hospital. We hear for those for and against the mandate just ahead. And we are taking a look ahead at what's happening this week in Little Rock. Plus, after those scorching temperatures last week, you probably can feel the difference outside tonight. We'll have much more on the Get Ready forecast in just a moment. 4029 News starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News at 10.
Multiple hospitals in our area, including Mercy, are now requiring COVID vaccines for their staff. This comes as the state reports more than 1,100 hospitalizations and more than 230 people are currently on a ventilator. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jamie Weiss. Protesters in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley gathered to protest Mercy Hospital's vaccine mandates for employees. 4029's Emma Claybrook is joining us live now with why protesters say the vaccine should not be required.
Early in July, Mercy announced that all employees would need to be vaccinated for COVID-19 by September 30th. We spoke with several healthcare workers today from local hospital systems in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley who say they do not agree with vaccine mandates for employees. Dozens of protesters lined the streets near the Promenade Mall tonight in Rogers. Most of them say they think getting the vaccine should be a personal choice.
We give choices to everything else that we offer for all of our patient populations, but when it comes to nurses and anyone else in the healthcare field, suddenly we're being denied that choice.
One former Mercy employee we spoke to says he resigned from his position when he found out the vaccine would be mandated.
I'm a respiratory therapist, worked for Mercy up until a couple of weeks ago and turned in my notice and said, you don't care about the employees. We all have beliefs, and it's not right for an employer to force their beliefs on the employee.
Some protesters say they are not anti-vaccine, they're just anti-mandating it for employees.
I feel I don't have enough information yet. I'm not just totally saying no, but just give us time for it to be tested more and to get more information on it.
Protesters also made their voices heard in Fort Smith this afternoon at a protest in front of the Mercy Hospital on Rogers Avenue.
Many of them actually had been vaccinated. Some employees of Mercy and some not, but their stance wasn't anti-vaccine. That's not the issue. The issue is taking away the personal health choices.
All Mercy employees have to be vaccinated for COVID-19 by September 30th. Mercy Health System did send us this statement in response to the protest. It says in part, quote, while Mercy respects differences of opinion about the COVID-19 vaccine and coworkers' right to assemble and make their voices heard, Mercy's stance remains unchanged. We will require all coworkers to be vaccinated by September 30th to protect our coworkers, patients, and communities. When Mercy first made its announcement about the vaccine mandate, it said that about 75% of the more than 44,000 employees in the whole entire hospital system had been fully vaccinated for COVID-19. Reporting live in Rogers, Emma Claybrook, 4029 News.
You want to take a look now at Arkansas's latest COVID update. Nearly 2,000 new cases were reported today, and active cases remain above 19,000. That number went up by 948. 16 more people have died from the virus, and as you heard earlier, there are more than 1,100 hospitalizations. Now to the vaccine front, more than 5,300 people have recently received their first or second shot here in Arkansas. It's a big week for lawmakers in Arkansas as they come together to determine how the state will move forward amid the Delta variant surge. On Tuesday, state lawmakers head to the Capitol to meet as a committee of the whole. They'll be voting to affirm the governor's public health emergency.
And so some of the questions that I'm asking is, is the governor going to put parameters on the state of emergency, right? Are we going to see restaurants shut down again, businesses shut down, things like that? Are we going to have some reasonable restrictions? I think we can all live with some reasonable restrictions. I do not want to see things be shut down again.
Now that the governor's community COVID conversations have wrapped up in the natural state, he's expected to once again hold a weekly COVID briefing Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday is when the legislature convenes for a special session to discuss Act 1002, which bans state-run entities, including public schools, from mandating masks.
I feel in a public health emergency, you need a consistent policy across the state, so I would prefer to see every school district require masks, but at the very least, we should let individual districts decide what's in the best interest of their students.
You can have your child wear a mask, wear a double mask, wear an N95 mask. That's your choice as a parent. But I've heard from literally thousands of parents who say, I don't want to force my kid to wear a mask. They speak about how last time it was a terrible learning experience for them.
Well, Senator Trent Gardner, who you just heard from, says he does plan to introduce new legislation while the lawmakers are in Little Rock for that special session. Oklahoma health officials are also responding to another COVID surge. The State Department of Health reported nearly 1,700 new COVID-19 cases on Friday. Officials are tracking more than 11,000 active cases, and there were 8 new virus-related deaths. Today, the White House says the country is seeing a steady increase in vaccinations since July 5th. ABC's Elwin Lopez has the latest.
Delta variant continues to spread across the country. The U.S. topping 100,000 cases Saturday for the first time since early February. Hospitalizations also on the rise. Austin, Texas, a city of 2.3 million people, has less than 10 ICU beds available.
Those people who are unvaccinated, they're being overwhelmed by this and having to go into our ICUs.
Now growing concerns for children, many not yet eligible for the vaccine. In Louisiana, a Baton Rouge Children's Hospital treating 11 kids with COVID, 6 in intensive care.
Some of them need breathing tubes, and some of them, even just putting the breathing tubes in is not enough.
And Florida now seeing its highest single-day increase in cases since the pandemic began. Health officials in Palm Beach County say many getting vaccinated Saturday at a mobile event were young people.
COVID's really heating up, and I think it's really important that my kids get vaccinated.
Dr. Anthony Fauci doesn't think we'll see a repeat of the lockdowns we saw last year, but warned things will get worse.
The unvaccinated, by not being vaccinated, are allowing the propagation and the spread of the outbreak, which ultimately impacts everyone.
The U.S. is seeing some positive trends in getting people to roll up their sleeves. On Saturday, the White House touting 4 straight days of more than 700,000 vaccines being administered.
Well, that was Elwin Lopez reporting. Israel has rolled out a 3rd dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for people 60 and older today. Anyone eligible to receive that booster shot will have to prove that their 2nd dose was at least 5 months ago. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett announced the measure on Thursday after a strong recommendation from the government-appointed team of experts on the pandemic. This was to offer adults a 3rd dose. The city of Rogers is hosting a vaccine clinic tomorrow, and you don't need an appointment, and there's no cost. The clinic is happening at the Rogers Activity Center from 4 p.m. to 8 o'clock. 1st and 2nd doses will be administered. You can choose from the vaccines available, and we do want to remind you that the Pfizer vaccine is the only one approved for ages 12 and up. So if you would like to take your child, you got to keep that in mind. And children do need a parent or guardian present in order to be vaccinated. Make sure you bring your ID and insurance card. The eviction moratorium has ended, so now evictions can officially move forward. Millions of people across the country are at risk of losing their homes. Officials say there's still some help available in Benton County. The rental assistance program has been in place since last February, and it's dispersed over $3 million in rental and utility assistance to people impacted by COVID-19.
So I would encourage people, if you feel like you're fearing, you're facing eviction, you're looking for a place for help, again, come to the Benton County AR.gov website.
For more information on how to apply, just head on over to our website, 4029tv.com. Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush spent Friday night sleeping outside the Capitol. 2 colleagues joined her, Representatives Ayanna Presley of Massachusetts and Ilhan Omar of Minnesota. They're calling on their colleagues in Congress to do more to protect American families from eviction. And researchers say they already have some idea of how ending the eviction moratorium could lead to more COVID cases. Epidemiologist Dr. Catherine Lafhite looked back to last summer. That's when 27 states let their eviction moratoriums expire. In Louisiana alone, doctors associate evictions with almost 30,000 extra cases, 1,000 extra deaths between June and September. And Dr. Lafhite says this spread isn't limited to just people that were evicted.
When we're seeing this happening to multiple households, we see this kind of multiplicative effect in communities where it drives up transmission of COVID for everyone.
A clerk of court working in Louisiana says he has about 450 evictions in his queue already. Well, make sure you download the free 4029 News app for all the latest on COVID-19 and other major news happening here at home. You can find it to download in the Google Play and Apple app stores. Many people were out in Bentonville today enjoying this nice weather. We saw people out there biking, kids playing in the water, just having some fun in the sun. And what a perfect day for it. There was a little bit of rain that rolled through this morning while a lot of us were sleeping, and then had a perfect day. Want to check in with meteorologist Robert Sir. And Robert, this was probably the best type of summer day you could ask for because it was warm, but not overly hot and humid and gross.
It was weird. It was one of those transitional days where you'd go outside and it would feel great, and then you'd like step into a pocket of still really humid air, and then the wind would kind of blow and you'd get that cool, refreshing air. Just kind of the argument between air masses still going on. Tomorrow will be much better. We did have a little bit of rain in the River Valley today, and we got a great picture here from Amber, who sent us this picture of a rainbow in Van Buren just after some heavy rain fell. The sun peeks out and you get that nice rainbow out there. So we love those pictures. Right now in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 79 degrees. Dew point still not super refreshing, 70, but it's getting there. Meanwhile in Fayetteville, it's 66 right now with a clear sky and 69 degrees. Very pleasant evening. Here's a look at temperatures for your neighborhood. We're mostly in the upper 60s and lower to mid 70s out there. Watching a secondary cold front slowly slide through. It's pretty much going to wash out. But behind it, a wind shift and that drier, more comfortable air continues with those dropping humidity levels and cooler temperatures tonight in the 60s and lower 70s, and then sun-splashed skies tomorrow. A great day to be outside if you've got a round of golf or tennis or you're just going for a walk. A great day, Jamie. And this is going to continue. I'll tell you for how long coming up.
A 76-year-old man in Sallisaw has died after an ATV accident. Oklahoma Highway Patrol says Bill Horton was about 5 miles south of Sallisaw when he tried to back out at an angle on a slope with a sprayer tank attached to his Honda ATV. As Horton tried to turn, police say the weight of the sprayer tank caused the ATV to roll over and land on top of the driver. A man charged in the death of Pea Ridge police officer Kevin Apple is expected to appear in court this week. That's according to Benton County prosecuting attorney Nathan Smith. Take a look on your screen. This is video from that scene on June 26th. 18-year-old Elijah Andazola of Bella Vista is one of the 2 suspects charged in this case. He and 22-year-old Shauna Cash are charged with capital murder. Both were denied bond and remain in jail tonight. Andazola is set to appear before a judge for his arraignment tomorrow, while we know Shauna Cash is expected to be back in court next month. We have a get ready traffic alert for you. Interstate 40 bridge linking Arkansas and Tennessee has been reopened. The Hernando de Soto Bridge is now open for eastbound traffic, while westbound lanes are expected to open on Friday. If you remember, the I-40 bridge over the Mississippi River was shut down in May after inspectors found a crack in one of its steel beams. Thousands of people gathered in Miami for the Down with the Chains rally. Their call for freedom and what they want to see happen here in the U.S. Plus, senators on Capitol Hill try to finalize the infrastructure bill before the August recess. These stories and more after the break.